we got a question recently that I loved, which I thought Malia would be the perfect person to sit on the couch and talk with me about, which is, let's talk about the traits of board game developers.
Yeah, are you ready?
What are the traits
Are you ready?
of board game developers? Now,
I feel like I see where this is going.
Get ready.
Will not end well.
yeah, but we love you both.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be afraid.
And we
Just
appreciate
remember,
you.
they love us both.
This is an intervention.
This is
isn't
on
it?
the record from the
So-
start.
One trait that
We're
seems
just right into it.
wildly obvious to me about board game developers is how everything they think about is so deep.
Ooh.
Okay, there's it's hard to have much surface level conversation about anything because they're constantly thinking about how it fits in to the whole system of everything. Like everything
Yeah.
is a system, and how does it fit into it, and what is it going to mean if you do this one thing to
And-
the whole system? Is it going to break it?
The product has to have depth
Everything.
and meaning. And it can't just be cute.
Yes, no. And
But I want it to be cute.
and this is a good thing. Okay.
You know I have your back on this.
Wasn't there a movie that just called like Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes.
Or something
And
like
it-
that?
it
That's
won
what
many
game
awards.
design is.
Yes.
But why can't it be cute?
Sometimes it is.
So that level of depth in thinking is super helpful as a board game developer, right? Because it allows you to create a product and a system that thousands of people will play and enjoy and understand. So it's necessary. It's necessary for you to have.
I mean, a board
that
game
skill.
design is a bunch of interconnected systems.
Yes.
And if they're not interconnected, you need to make them be interconnected.
Or make better choices.
And so sometimes when I want to talk about something and you're thinking about maybe I should make better choices,
You get so
I
mad.
get frustrated. Because sometimes maybe I just want to talk about an idea and then it's your job to make it work and not tell me why it's not going to work with the system in a half a second.
Do you want to talk about your feelings?
Well, you see, I have this level of emotional intelligence that makes it really easy for me to do that.
I don't want to talk about her feelings
yeah,
anymore.
that was a mistake.
But that can be difficult. What's it feel like inside your brain? You know, like if somebody's bringing this idea to you and you have to be like, does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Ding, and you
Yeah,
come
it
out
feel-
with a yes or no.
You're
What
right.
is that
It
like?
kind of feels like, let me just speak for how it is perceived. It feels like it's like going through like a system in their brain. Like, I don't know what the system looks like.
It looks like that. You got it.
You know?
Yeah, it's spider fingers coming out of hair.
I mean, what we're saying, is that what it seems like and feels like internally, is that when people are bringing ideas or thoughts to you, it's hard for you to just maybe acknowledge them as a thought or idea, and you run it through this system and try to see if it'll work or not.
Yeah, everything is always being run. But I mean, and I think we are both like this. I think that we are both like this in all things, and then it just happens to lend itself well to designing board games. But it's like that with anything with the company or with any life things or whatever. It's like, okay, you're saying a thing to me, but I'm holding the whole construct of everything up here in my head, and I'm trying to see how it's all and yeah, that does just happen. A lot of it's really unconscious, though. My brain just kind of like gives me a result that's like, well, these 5 points.
Oh, so it is a system and then something pops out.
Yeah, so some of this happens. But then, little like opportunity flags and, like potential problem flags all start going off. And so what we will find is we both then jump ahead to those things, I think. So sometimes it's like someone's presenting an idea and now we're talking about like the ramifications of like 12 things forward without discussing the 12 things that happen in between.
Yeah, it's like when your child comes up to you and says, "How much does God weigh?" And you're like where do I start? Like there's just so much processing and so much like
It's such a deep question.
institutional.
Yeah.
Mark has deep children.
You were just talking about the depth. That's because it is. What if we just did this? And it's like, then the machine does this.
So a lot of it happens really just like instinctively.
Yes.
So what my brain is consciously doing is having to say, okay, when I respond to this person, I need to respond to them like a normal, and back up and fill in the steps and give them context for the way that I'm thinking or what I'm thinking. Or Mark and I have to step in for each other, and it's like, okay, so to get to where what he's talking about, like here's the steps that I assume or in inferring or reading between the lines that he's just not sharing, or I'm just sitting there and this person is talking and I'm just like, that ain't gonna work, and now I have to tell this person that. And
That just ain't gonna do it.
For 15 different reasons, that's absurd.
which reason will I pick?
That's not
Anyways,
nice.
is this what you're asking?
That's not nice.
The truth, telling the truth is always nice.
Tact.
Clear is
Wrestle
kind.
with it.
Tact.
I'm gonna move on. That's how I'm gonna wrestle. I'm gonna move to the next.
Avoidance.
Or avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a compliment. Okay. So.
Okay.
Preempts it with,
I'm sure it'll feel that
it's
way.
going to be okay. This is a compliment. I promise you.
You better hear it through that.
Board game developers are very smart. Like your brains are so good at coming up with ideas.
And that's the end of the show.
And,
This has been great. Thank you for watching.
watching a conversation like a brainstorming session is so entertaining and enlightening because it's like your synapses don't end. Like your synapses just keep going and building and you can just like talk about ideas and come up with ideas and world build
For 4 hours.
for a long time.
Forever.
Forever.
Does it feel like you could
well,
come up
it's-
with ideas forever?
It's a
Yeah, that's the
it's-
problem.
It's a curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it literally, like we can't shut it down even if we have no energy left. It's like we can't sleep. So all we do is think about the game. It's
Sometimes
really,
that gets us in trouble. You haven't asked a question, and now we're just talking. But sometimes that does. Did you ask a question?
No, I did
Okay. Sometimes this does get us in trouble though, because one of us will have like a moment of like clear-headedness where we step out of the idea storm, and it's like, okay, yeah, these are all new great ideas. We don't need them. We already
we're
have
doing.
good ideas that now we need to explore. We can't just have great ideas endlessly. Yes, it's fun, but we must choose. Like,
Yeah, I do feel that sometimes,
Yeah.
especially if like I'm responsible for moving something forward, right? I feel like I'll come in and listen to you go back and forth, and maybe I'll have an idea and we'll all go back and forth for a minute, but then like, we only have 15 minutes left and we actually have to have a plan created by the end of this hour. And so then I have to be able to go, okay, great. Stop talking. And that's why I have learned to be like very direct in the way that I try to communicate and move conversation flow, because I found that if I'm not, then my job won't get done, because my job is to create a proper storyline that's going to come from all of these ideas. And I need a beginning and a middle and an end. And if I don't have any sort of end or any action item to move forward with, then I can't do my job properly. So I've got to really rein that in.
Yeah, there's sometimes I like will feel like almost like agitated a little bit. Maybe
Sure.
because I'm like, the meeting's almost over and I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this meeting to be able to do my job. We just talked. And so I have to be like, so let's like that's how I'm seeing it. Like we're just chatting about the thing and I need some action.
And they might walk away feeling super energized.
Yes.
Because they stretched a muscle that's important for them to have. But then it has to be complemented by maybe people like us who can move it to an action. And there has to be enough respect between us that you'll listen enough to move towards the action piece and let go of that state that is really energizing for you.
Sometimes all I have to say is, hey, we only have 10 minutes left. So, and then Tom will be like, I got to step out of this.
yeah, as long as someone in the room is kind of being the what's the word we tend to use for this?
No.
I don't know.
Timekeeper.
But as long as there's at least one person that is in the room, because if you guys aren't there, one of us will step into that role. Like someone has to at some point be the person that's the like holder of accountability and the schedule and the time, and like, okay, but this has to end in something actionable. And you've modeled that really well for us over the years, and you too. And so we've. And this is something that we've had to learn, especially as like leaders of the team, is that sometimes these things that really energize us are very exhausting for other people. So like one of the things that really makes Mark and I feel like things are going really well and we're on a good trajectory and we have good momentum and boy, the business is doing great, is like stirring it up and like stirring up new energy and having new ideas and having new approaches to things and like being really mindful and thoughtful and like but that to a lot of people feels unstable. It's like, well, we just did this a month ago where we stirred everything up. Why are we stirring it up perpetually? And so we have to, that's a discipline that we're having to learn, is to recognize that is not intrinsically good. That's a thing that we like and that's helpful for us to get motivated. But how we approach the larger team and the business needs to have some other lenses and disciplines in there too, where we pick a lane and develop the lane, but don't just like lane, and just barrel forward, which worked great when it was just us, but it's not just us now.
Well,
And
we're going to get into this a little bit more in our main topic today, because exactly like you talked about, the team has been growing, and there are traits in a lot of creative people that lead to things being amazing with a team and things that are kind of struggles with running a creative team. So let's take a quick break now that we've had an opportunity to reflect on what some of your traits are, and we'll move into a main topic for the day.
okay.
Cool.
Take your right finger, put it in your own nostril, and just wiggle it a little bit. Just a little, because it'll really make you feel warmed up and ready.
In it?
Mark, do it.
I
Fine,
don't
I'll
like
take that.
I don't like in.
You don't like in it?
That's
Me
cute.
looking at myself.
Mark has his cocaine eyes going.
Here we are on the couch.
Or
That's all
his
I got.
lacy eyes, apparently.
Welcome.
F it, we'll do it live.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't know what the next thing is after the thing we talked about.
Let me Google that for you, Brett.
Yeah, amen.
I saw your wallet on the ground and had every temptation to take it and hide it.
It's like 5 people. Tom, your wallet.
I saw your wallet on the ground. And
Yeah, there it is.
I saw your.
There.
Okay.
Now everyone can.
No, everyone can
Shut up.
debate